Praise Allah, to the Prophet of Allah, known to Ali. Once all whom honors is due, honor to the Moorish nation. Brother Lane Neal, Grand Governor, California, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Science Temple of America, number 24, Governor and Chief Head. Demonstration today, Moorish Flag. Moors want me to unfold on the Moorish Flag. This is the flag of our forefathers, the Moorish. Our people, the so-called Negro, black, and colored, have a flag. And this is the flag. It's not the Negro flag, it's not the colored flag, it's not the black flag, it's not the Afro-American flag or the African-American flag. This is the Moorish flag, the flag of your ancient forefathers prior to slavery. First of all, it's the oldest flag to represent a nation on earth because you are the oldest nation on earth. So it only seems fitting that you have the oldest national flag or flag to represent a nation, flag representing a nation on earth. So you see the flag, you see that it's red and green. The red flag with the 5-pointed green star in the center. You see the 5 points here, and we, Moorish Muslims, know that the 5 points represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And first of all, we didn't make this flag up. This flag was passed down to us by our ancient forefathers and mothers, our ancestors. Passed this down to us. This flag is over 10,000 years old. It is the oldest flag in existence to represent a nation of people. This 5-pointed star is known as an interlocking star. That's what we call it. As the lines somewhat overlap each other. Right? They don't cross each other because we don't cross nothing. It's overlap. And so the lines overlap each other right here. And so we say that the 5 points represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This is called an interlocking star known as the Seal of Solomon. This flag right here bears the seal of Solomon, or the prophet Suleiman, the great one that you read about in history, in the Bible, is one of your ancestors, one of your forefathers, and this is the seal of Solomon. Just like we know the 6-pointed star to be the seal of King David. Right? And so we call that the Star of David. David, that's his seal. This is Solomon. This is the seal of Solomon. Red flag with the 5-pointed green star in the center. This is the Moorish flag. The flag that was taken away from the so-called Negro, blacks, and coloreds during the time of physical slavery, of physical bondage. It was taken away. You were stripped of your name, of your culture, your creed, and everything. This is also the proverbial cherry tree that you heard of George Washington. George Washington, big-time Mason. And the Masons loved George Washington as one of their fathers. The story goes that George Washington was out playing and he chopped down his father's cherry tree in the garden. He was out in the garden and chopped down his father's cherry tree. The garden is symbolic for the land, for the earthland. He's out in the earthland, right? And he chopped down his father's cherry tree, meaning the Moorish nation, right? The father and mother, the father of the world. You understand? Red and green. If you look, you see that a cherry tree is red and green. It's bright red and green. And so this represents the cherry tree, or the cherry tree, that is, represents, allegorically, symbolically represents the Moorish flag. And so George Washington took the Moorish flag and locked it up in Independence Hall in Philadelphia, because that was the seat of the U.S. government back then. It wasn't Washington, D.C., it was Philadelphia. And so Independence Hall, they took this and locked it up in Independence Hall, right? And and did away with it, right? And then it seems as though the so-called Negro, black, and colored didn't have a flag or a nationality. Because along with the nationality comes the flag, right? We are a Moorish people, and this is the Moorish flag. But the Chinese people have a Chinese flag. The Italian people have an Italian flag. We are Moorish. We have the Moorish flag that is passed down to us from generation to generation, century after century by our forefathers. We only got disconnected, so to speak, with it, lost it during the time of slavery, right? And so George Washington chopped down the cherry tree. This is the cherry tree. So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Prophet of Allah, was born in 1886, right? In the state of North Carolina in 1886. He founded the Moorish Scientific of America. He was 27 years old, right, in Newark, New Jersey, right? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali declared that the Moorish nation had been resurrected, that we had climbed out of the pit of slavery, out of death, out of darkness, right? The resurrection is now a fact. The body, right, is now coming out of the tomb. The tomb is now a blaze of light, right? And so now, here the resurrection comes. So he declares to the government that the nation has arisen. This is what he's done, right? He goes to Woodrow Wilson, who was a presidential candidate. Woodrow Wilson was the governor of New Jersey, right? And the Prophet founded the temple in New Jersey. So he went to Woodrow Wilson, the governor, and told him about the Moors, declared the Moorish nation, the resurrection of the Moorish nation, and told Woodrow Wilson to give us back our flag in so many words, in an intelligent tone, because you know the Prophet is intelligent, wise, humble. So Woodrow Wilson told him that he didn't have that flag there. And Woodrow Wilson tried to tell him he didn't know where the flag was kept. And so the Prophet told Woodrow Wilson that it's kept in Independence Hall. Y'all keep it in Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Right? They tried to give the Prophet Noble Drew Ali a red banner, an all-red banner. It was all red without the star on it. And the Prophet slid it back across the table at them. Prophet Noble Drew Ali had told them, no, I came for the one with the 5-pointed green star in the center. He came for the Moorish flag, the one that they locked up. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that here. He was like, I know where you have it, you know. And he went there and went and got it. Independence Hall, right, in Philadelphia. It's on Chestnut Street. I don't know the address right now. What is it? 6222, right? 62. Huh? 622. 622 Chestnut. All right. Independence Hall. Right? And they had it there. So the Prophet went and got it. So when the Prophet went to Independence Hall, he actually went and retrieved the actual Moorish flag. Excuse me over there, please. I know what you're saying. It's not all that important. Please go outside. All right? The actual Moorish flag that he got, right, was the actual one that George Washington himself took and placed inside of the vault, so to speak. The Prophet actually went and got that flag. See, the Prophet had Moorish flags flying already around the temple, stuff like that already. Right? He wanted that particular one because this was a declaration. He has to declare that the Moorish nation has been resurrected. The resurrection is now a fact. It took place. Give us the flag that you locked up, actually, in Independence Hall to represent our downfall, to represent our destruction, our sleep, our slumber, our death, in physical bondage, slavery. So the Prophet comes to uplift us. So he returned to us our flag. This is the Moorish flag. There's no such thing as a Negro flag or a black flag or a colored flag or an Afro-American flag. Right? There's no such thing as that. You know, many people will make the mistake and they'll cite the red, black, and green banner. That's a banner and it's not a flag. That is not a national flag, a flag of a nation. It is just a banner. And that banner was put into effect into the ethers by the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the forerunner of the prophet. Right? And this banner is the representation of the UNIA, the organization, UNIA. And it is supposed to serve the purpose where our people see it and on sight they're getting ready to receive this. As Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali were like this. They were like this. They were close, hand in hand they worked. Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey came up with the slogan, one God, one aim, one destiny for the UNIA. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali helped to come up with that. That's Islamic in nature, that slogan. So together they devised this plan to awaken you, to awaken all of us. And so Marcus Garvey's red, black, and green banner, we give it honors and we fly it as a banner to represent Marcus Garvey, the forerunner of the prophet, in this great uplifting of fallen humanity. Right? But this is the flag of our nation. This was the flag of our nation prior to slavery. So then it's still the flag of our nation today. It's just that our people have to accept it in their hearts and minds and get the slavery, the condition of the slave mind, out of their consciousness and accept what's their own. Japanese, Chinese, and everyone else, French, whoever, they all have their own national flag, the descent flag of their ancient forefathers. And this is our descent flag right here, red and green. Right? Originally, it was white, but we get off into that later sometime. It was white, changed color because of war, bloodshed. The red represents divine love and the divine blood, the royal blood of our forefathers. It was shed in defending the truth, good spirits of the truth against the beast Satan and stuff. So the red flag, red being divine love, divine royal blood in us, the blood of our forefathers that was shed so that we can have what we have today even, right? And the green, earth is green. Green representing nourishment and fertility. This star representing the nation being fertile, fertility and the nourishment of the Moorish nation. This interlocking star right here is actually one line, one single line. That's why the lines all interlock, they overlap. When you take it and stretch it out, you would have one single line. So you take it and fold it 5 times, make 5 points. So it's actually a circle. A circle is one line, all right? A circle is one line with no beginning or an end, right? This is also one line with no beginning or end. So our forefathers, masters of geometry and all that kind of stuff, government, all that, they're just showing it right here with this symbol, the seal of Solomon. Solomon was great with the mathematics and stuff, right? With the temple structure, the building of the ark, and all the rest of this, right? And so, therefore, right, he had to build an ark also, right? He was instructed to build an ark also, where the people would come and worship and learn. So, this 5 points, 72 degrees, right? 72 times 5 is 360 degrees. 72 degrees times 5 is 360 degrees. This is a circle, right? Because a circle is a 360 degree demonstration, okay? And so, basically that's it. Basically that's it. We want all our people to know that this is their flag, to be able to identify their flag. This is the flag of their ancient forefathers. You see what I mean? It's so old that you don't know the actual birth date of it. It's over 10,000 years old because you are the oldest nation and the first nation and the first race on earth. Every other race comes from you. So you have the oldest flag in existence. It's right here, like we said, bears the seal of Solomon, right? Because it's one of your ancestors, right? So you go Abraham, Boaz, right? King Boaz, right? Jesse, King David, right? Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph, right? Mary and Jesus, all, are your ancestors, right? And this is the flag that they all identify with. All right? And so now, in this time right here, you see Morocco was flying this flag for a minute. See? But look, When the last Moorish stronghold fell in the 1490s, right? In Spain, right? And Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand made up the religion of, not the religion, but the holiday, Thanksgiving. Because the last Moorish stronghold had fell in Spain, right? And they ripped down all of the minarets and things like that, the crescents off the minarets and off the buildings, and put the Christian cross up, right? And Thanksgiving is a holiday representing them being able to wipe Moorish culture out of the world, off the land, out of the world. And so this flag right here was important for them to erase. So you look at Morocco, when the last Moorish stronghold fell, and the Morocco got invaded, it got invaded by the French and all that. It became French Morocco and all of that, right? They were reduced. They took the Moorish fez, right? Like this Moor has on, right? And they cut it down. Come over here right quick, Moor, jump in this camera. And you see, this is a Moorish fez the Moor has on. This is a Moor, by the way. He's not a black man. He's not a Negro or a colored person. He's not Afro-American or African-American. He's not a coon or a shan, not a nigger, not a dog. He's a lion and a lamb. All right? So you notice he's got the Moorish fez on. Swing the tassel, please. The tassel is not tacked down like a Masonic fez. We gave the Masons the fez that they have on their head. Our forefathers put that fez on them, and the whole structure that they have. That's why our people don't have no business being Masons and Eastern Stars either. This was to come to the full 720-degree demonstration, trying to get your, what is it, 32 degrees and all that, 33. And I even heard that they trying to say they got 90 degrees and all this. Still ain't nothing, right? Small fez representing 360 degrees of infinite wisdom and 360 degrees of finite wisdom. You know, 360, 360, 720. This, right, representing, this is the Moorish fez, the fez of your ancient forefathers that got taken off your head during the time of slavery. And French Morocco took and shortened this fez down to here, and they chopped this tassel down, and they tacked it down, and made it where it will not swing freely, because this represents the ruler of the universe, the ruler of the world, of the earthland, the Lord of the plains. And so they wanted to tack it down. His movement will be frozen now. And they took and they sliced this down to like 8 inches. Because 12, you know, they don't want it to represent the ruler of the world. It's your birthright, right? And so they took it and chopped this down, chopped this, shortened it down. And we called that the French Foreign Legion fez or something. We used to like just clowning around. That is not the Moorish fez. This is the Moorish fez. Prophet Noble Drew Ali bought the Moorish fez and put it back on the head of a so-called Negro because he's a Moor. Told you you were a Moor, you're not a Negro. The slave owner told you were that. And so therefore, this was a Moorish fez. It's back on this Moor's head. It's like a miracle. You know, it's back on this Moor's head. He has this back. All right? But in Morocco, they wouldn't do this anymore. And they also, all right, no, that's good. And they also took this star off the flag. They took the seal of Solomon off of the flag and gave it. And Morocco was flying that red banner, all red, the same one that they tried to slide across the table to Prophet Drew Ali, that he was not accepting because it wasn't a Moorish flag. So in 1913, the Prophet resurrects the temple, right? Founded the Moorish Science Temple of America. Right? Brings the flag. And we here in America, the Moorish Americans, are flying the flag again. From really before 1913. But we just say that because that's when he founded the temple. Right? So 1913, we're flying this. Morocco was flying the all-red banner. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the one who brought this flag and put it back into existence into the world. Morocco did not have the flag present because the last Moorish stronghold was defeated in like 1492. Right? And they took all of this stuff away. And it wasn't until The prophet born in 1886, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who founded the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1913, who went set in 1912 with Woodrow Wilson and them, declaring all of this stuff about the Moorish nation and the resurrection of the Moorish nation and our Moorish state. So here's the flag again, right? We're flying it all through. Decades are going by. The prophet, the Moorish nation here is flying the flag. And Morocco didn't start flying it until like 1956 or 59 or something like that. Which one is it? 59? 56 they adopted and started. It was something went down. 56, 59 up in there. And we'll say 59, okay. 1959. They start flying. So from 1912 up through the 1920s, 30s, 1940s, Moorish nation is back. Right? The resurrection is a fact, right? And so Morocco started flying this flag, right? For some time, for a time period, and then they took this star off and put a flat star on it. It's flat, when I say it's not interlocking, it's just like a flat star, one single flat star. It's not an interlocking star. So they changed it. And that's the flag that Morocco flies today. That's the Moroccan flag. That's not the Moorish flag. There's a difference between the Moroccan flag and the Moorish flag. It's a difference between one who was Moorish and one who was a Moroccan. You know, I'm not a Moroccan. I'm Moorish. You know, I'm a Moorish Muslim, but I'm not a Moroccan. See what I'm saying? And so this flag represents the entire Moorish empire. The whole entire Moorish empire is up under this flag, right? And Morocco is the Mecca of the Moorish nation. Now the Moorish nation is worldwide, is international, and Morocco is the capital empire of the Moorish nation. You know, Fez, Morocco was the financial or capital Mecca, the Mecca of the Moorish empire, and all of the kingdoms all over the world will come up under that one single banner, like of Islam, of the Moorish nation. So the Sultan of Morocco, he had more power than the other sultans. The Sultan of Morocco, you know, the Sultan of Morocco was like the Sultan of sultans, because he was in Morocco, and Morocco pretty much fed all of the Moorish empire, pretty much laid a law down for the whole entire Moorish empire. You know, all of the rest of the kingdoms were minor kingdoms compared to the kingdom of Morocco, of which is the capital. It was the capital, it's the capital of the Moorish nation. All right? And so you got Algiers, Tunis or Tunisia, Tripoli, that's Libya, you know, and things like that. You know, back then, these kingdoms, those kingdoms were set up by our Moorish forefathers underneath this flag also. Right? And so, you know, when all of that failed during the Crusades, the Catholics fought against our ancestors so hard that wiped all of this stuff away, gave you slavery, and now you have nothing. Right? So this is Moorish flag. Anything I left out? Anything I left out? Something I left out? All right. And so you got Algiers, Tunis or Tunisia, Tripoli, that's Libya, you know, and things like that. You know, back then, those kingdoms were set up by our Moorish forefathers underneath this flag also. Right? And so, you know, when all of that failed during the Crusades, the Catholics fought against our ancestors so hard that wiped all of this stuff away, gave you slavery, and now you have nothing. Right? So this is the Moorish flag. Anything I left out? Anything I left out? Something I left out? Let me know. Yeah. They just started flying it in Morocco in the 1950s. We had already had it because it belongs to us. They adopted it in the 1950s, then they laid it down again, and now they have that flat star up there. That's the Moroccan flag. That's not the Moorish flag. That's not the ancient Moorish flag. This flag right here is ancient. It's older than slavery. This flag is older than the European man that put you in slavery. The European races and nations were not even on the planet yet when this flag was in existence. Your nation was in existence before the European man was even on the planet, before he was even made by God, by the Lord, on the plane of manifest. Yeah, that's a whole different demonstration right there. This is the flag of the ancient ones who decided to make Africa our home, who decided to make Africa the birthplace of humanity. Islam, that's it. This is our flag. You know the European lies to you all the time. The slaveholder always lied to you. Always lied to you. Every single time he lied to you. Every time. No cut. Just every time lied. This, I'm your brother, I'm telling you. This is your flag. This is the flag that your ancestors flew prior to slavery. You didn't live off of no huts and off no grass skirts and no barefooted, oompa life, spear chunking and all that. They clown you about that stuff. You had spears made out of solid gold and things like that, more, you know, and stuff like that. You know, you would make a spear out of solid gold or something like that and go, you know, and let the man hold it who's guarding the palace, Mo. There's no hut time and all that kind of stuff going on here. You know what I'm saying and stuff. You're not people from huts and all that. Yeah, we do like to walk on the ground because we're spiritual. Don't get it twisted. They try to make it seem like that was all of you, just dirt and all that. No, we would take our shoes off and walk up and have that dirt floor and it'd be clean dirt floor. Because we want to be one with the earth in a meditation and stuff like that. But you best believe, marble floors, running water, lights, air conditioned, palaces. See what I'm saying? Civilization to the max is what's going on here. So this is the flag of your ancient forefathers prior to slavery. Right? That's it. It's a demonstration. It's telling you the truth. Do the research yourself. I'm telling you the truth. Or you can believe the same people who put you in slavery, who never wanted you to know yourself in the first place, who stripped you of everything that you had just so they didn't make you a slave and so you can follow them and think they God. You know what I'm saying? This is the flag of your ancient forefathers prior to the slavery, prior to physical bondage. This is it. You know, this is the reason why they place a 5-pointed star on top of your Christmas tree. It means the crucifixion. Your Christmas tree means the crucifixion of your Moorish nation. That's why Christmas colors are red and green. And the Thanksgiving turkey represents the Turkish Moor who flies this flag. The old Turkish Moor, your ancient father, the Turkish Moor, who chopped the head off of Constantine for trying to change Istanbul into Constantinople. It's Muslim land, try to come and change it to a Catholic land, Constantinople. So Muhammad II, the Turk, come up in there under this flag, chop Constantine's head off, roll his head. Change it back to Istanbul. They lied to you. It was Istanbul first. And so it's Istanbul, Turkey first. So the Turkish Moor flies this. And then, look, you got Turkey. The turkey represents you. They're devouring you. It's 1492. The Pope of Rome, Queen Isabella, and King Ferdinand declared that a holiday when the last Moorish stronghold failed. So that's why they put the 5-pointed star on top of your Christmas tree. That's why you're eating turkeys on Thanksgiving. Red and green, Christmas colors, red and green. You know Santa Claus is alive, you know that. So the red and green Christmas color, where do they get that from? It represents the destruction of, the enslaving of, the crucifixion of your nation. It's like they got you strapped up in one of them fires. They call them barn fires or whatever. What's they call them? They used to do that to our ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Strap them up and burn them up and stuff like that. That's what the Christmas tree represents. It represents death to all of creation, all of Allah's creation, and Moorishness and humanity and things like that. So it's what it represents, being strung up. It's a demonstration. Right? I wasn't going to say take it or leave it, but just take it. Take it. You get that European, you get everything they told you. I'm your brother, I love you. Peace.
Islam.